That's my bread and butter. That's my happy place. Working live, working with celebrity talent, talking to them like they're a real person, not being like a robotic host that you might see on an entertainment news network, even though I would probably take that job. I'm not saying no, but that's sort of how the industry is different now. First of all, those host jobs don't even exist anymore, right? So waiting around to get cast in something like that was never the play. So what did I do? I was sitting around with a friend, he said, "What do you do for a living?" And he was like, "Well, I own a sneaker store." And I go, "Pawn Stars for dope sneakers. Let's go." So I hired a couple camera kids, went to his sneaker shop, made a sizzle tape, sold a show, 1 for 1. I was like, "Oh, this is easy." So I wasn't in front of the camera, just sold an unscripted show to MTV, which was great. I was like, "Oh, I could just do this again." So then, not waiting around to be on camera, I just did that same philosophy 4 more times. So I made 4 more deals with great partners like Mark Wahlberg or Ben Silverman or Tom Beers or NBC Universal. Those shows didn't go to air, but I had great partnerships, great development steps, learning the business, and just a lesson of like, okay, if you want to be in the business, you love Hollywood, you want to be, Mark Burnett, you want to be Edgy Ryan Seacrest, like you got to go make shit happen. So again, make life happen. Same thing.
How did you originally get into that MTV door to be able to pitch that show?
So another lesson. So it's like you're trying your best to like get pitch meetings and be introduced to the right people and like send the perfect email or get that meeting. Literally, who bought it? Got connected via email to the executive at Thing, and he said, "Yo, this is cool." And he was like, "Come in." Like, that was it. Like, super low key. Got connected to the right person, sent them the link. They liked it. That's it. The work speaks for itself. So it's not about like, you don't have to like overthink it. The work speaks for itself. Send it. And if they want it, they'll do it.
That's what people don't understand. Like, the old model is so dead. Like, you come out, like, for an actor, you come out here, you get an agent, you start auditioning. Like, that is over.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people are shooting their own content. There's so many places online to put their up. Like, you have to go get it if you really want.
Also, you can be the best actor. It doesn't mean you're going to get that job. It's like they're looking for someone. So if you don't get that job, it's just you were never going to get that job. They have someone in mind.
Right.
So that's it. So you just stand around and like hope for that. I still love acting. That's why I made the pilot.
Yeah.
And I'm really proud of it. It's out now. Check it out. Good Kid from Brooklyn. It's on my Instagram, Dylan Landon, or you could, Google or YouTube Good Kid from Brooklyn.
What's the synopsis?
It's a single camera comedy. It's based on my real life. 99% of what you're about to see is 100% true. Every line of dialogue, every story in it is all exactly true. So that's what I was inspired to do, is just translate real life into a scripted format. It's basically, if you could imagine, like Insecure meets Seinfeld.
Oh,
that's the vibe.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is like such a Seinfeld vibe. I'm like, oh man, that New York just.
Yeah. So it's called Good Kid from Brooklyn. It's a real life. I play myself. The 3 actors that play my best friends are inspired by my real friends, which is a girl, a black gay guy, a mixed gay guy, and a white bro. So those are my 3 best friends, and that's what we try to show in the show. Is like the diversity of the friendship, and like being friends with a gay guy is like nothing to even blink about. Like, that's my friend. Like, so we showcase that. We do celebrity interaction on the carpet and stuff like that. So that was my happy place. Being on set, directing, having the screening the next day, just floating, feeling like, okay, this is what I'm meant to be doing. But whether that leads it or talent leads it or producing leads it, it's all about like being a person in Hollywood. Like, only like 2 moments in my life I was like, okay, yes, that's lightning bolt. I'm supposed to be doing that on stage, high school play, making people laugh, spotlight. I was like, okay, this is it. And then like at home, it was probably like The Apprentice or something, which at the time was getting like 40 million people to watch. And like at the end, while as a family we're watching the show, and like created by Mark Burnett, I was like, okay, that's baller. I was like, that's what's up.
Oh,
so created by like that vibe, to be responsible for something that impacts pop culture on like a global scale creatively, and then also performing. Yeah. So
Mark Burnett has done everything. Can you explain who that is? Like, people who aren't familiar.
I mean, Mark Burnett's probably, maybe times have changed a little bit, but at one point, and still one of the most powerful television producers in the world. The Apprentice, Survivor, just you name it, he's behind it.
You talked about being on that like such high, while you were shooting, everything was up there. If you're high, you have to be low, right? So how many times have you been on that high, like, oh, this is about to sell, oh, this is about to come out, and then it doesn't? What was that fallout like? Because again, man, you're telling everybody all the great things about you, and bro, we can go for days. But what we want to do here is like, yo, man, you're a human being. Yeah, you're a human being too. There were some struggles you had to go through to get to where you are.
I'm filled with anxiety and depression 80% of the time.
Let's talk about that.
And then 20% of the time is like lit. And that 20%, you're like, yo, man, like, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, why can't it be like this all the time? Because that's also just not how life is, So,
but what's it like, having to be on set and you have to be on if you're around Eli, Derek Jeter, Logan. if you're in a really depressed mood, how are you navigating that, bro? Like that's such a hard thing to do.
Well, for me, like even right now, my spirits are lifted because I'm around people. And LA happens to be like a very isolating place. You know, I live alone. I essentially work alone. So not being around people, and that's the thing about being social, is really important to me, because it's like when I have the opportunity to work with people, I do feel better. So those are the times when I do feel better. It's really when I'm not with the people and I'm by myself all day, days at a time. You know, sometimes you don't even use your voice because you're not talking to anybody. So that's the most challenging part. And how do you know? You just have to believe that like the shitty times don't last, and even those great times don't last. So it's all fluctuates.
What goes on in your head, and what are you doing during those shitty times? Because like you can't. I've tried it where you just keep working through it, and that doesn't always work.
No, I guess just knowing that like, all right. It's hard though, because like an actor, right? Like you get your job and you're like, oh, yo, shit, I'm going to always keep working. And then like you don't have a job. You're like, wait, am I ever going to get a job again?
As soon as you get home, it's like, what's going on? My phone isn't like no emails. Every email you get, you're like, mate, no.
So if there's a way to just know, you know what, the next job is coming. Same thing with like mentality. It's like when you're feeling shitty, it's like, all right, you know what, I'll get back to that place soon. So I'm going through some shit right now.
That's not that easy though. Like to convince yourself.
No,
of it,
you're not changing your state. You're just announcing that you're aware of it. You know,
but also you've been doing it. You've been doing it for a while. Like in the beginning, it does weigh on you a lot. But after you do it, you know, just with auditions, you know, in the beginning, I would like, oh my God, I should have done this. I should have done this. But now, like, I do it and I forget about it.
Yeah, that's all.
Like the more you do it, the more shows you pitch, the more times you get rejected.
Yeah. No, believe me, I've said to myself many times, like if I was a different person, there's no way I would be staying here. It's just knowing like what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just having, I believe time's a circle, right? If you want to get into this, right? So like time's not linear. Like the past exists right now, the future exists. It was all happening at the exact same time. We just can't access that. We only experience time linearly. So I feel very strongly that whatever my future self, my purpose in life, the highest version of myself already exists. So I'm driven to align with that. So I won't tolerate not pursuing that. So it's like, I know that exists. So it's about setting myself up, putting myself in a position to do that. But like, I'll go see psychics, astrologers, therapists, like, you know what I'm saying?
I was just going to ask
all about that
because I do the same thing. And like, for me, it's a confirmation. Like, you have a feeling, you have an intuition, like you're saying, like you're supposed to be, you know, looking up to that person. That person's supposed to guide you. If you're connected to yourself and your highest self, you're walking in that line. You don't have to worry about anything, 100%. But not many people have that perspective.
Well, that's why we're here trying to educate people. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yo, I don't think people realize like how much spirituality plays such a big part, because you gotta like, it's a concept of manifestation, but then also trust, which is so hard to get on board with.
Well, it all starts with like the hierarchy of needs, like taking care of your needs. Like now I can pay my rent. I can go to Miami if I want to. I can pay for a hotel room if I want to. I can go out to dinner if I want to. Like I couldn't do any of that. So like I never went on vacation. I still don't go on vacation. Like I don't even know what that is. Like,
no, we work.
You know, exactly. So, but the idea of like not like knowing my rent is paid this month, like is amazing. Like I don't even think about paying rent this month, which is awesome. And it's so grateful. Like you don't understand. Negative, bro. Yeah. Negative.
You get in like you get in the mind.
Negative.
Yeah, but like to be aligned, body, mind, soul, right? Yeah. So you get up every morning and go into yoga, body. You're not having to worry about anything like that. Okay, your mind's at ease, and now your soul feels good because you're doing what you want. That's why you're so successful right now.
And I pray, I was like, thank God, like please keep this going, like allow me to like be my best self every day.
That's part of the vibration.
Yeah.
If you're grateful, more gratitude brings in more things to be grateful for.
I mean, that's also it. If the more you're like trying for stuff like that, like yes, you have to like pursue what you want, but like that energy of like you're pushing it away, just trusting that like, so it's like, you don't say, oh, I want a big house. You're like, yo, I love how big my house is. You know what I'm saying? So if you just radiate what it is, it comes to you, like you're saying. Yeah. I love how many hot girls are in my life. You feel me? I love how much money I have.
Me too.
I love how big my house is. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I love how successful this podcast is, baby.
Exactly. Podcast is so successful. We are killing it in a $100 million studio in the basement.
Yes. Exactly.
But no, you're right. You got to believe it. And there's so many people that will count themselves out because they're like, I just can't do that. It's like, yo, did you even try? They're so afraid of failure where like, it's not a failure. It's a lesson. You're gonna fail, but as long as you keep getting up.
Rocky line.
Yo, let me ask you this, because this is something that I love about being from New York. It's like, yo, we came out here and there's very few people that want to work as quickly as we want to work.
My God.
It's
First of
like-
all, if you're on a line somewhere in LA, no one has a sense of urgency, right? Like they're not working
I was just
fast.
talking about that.
They're not working fast to like get that line shorter. In New York, someone sees a line, they're like, okay, let me work fast to like make these people's day better, you know? So that's just like the same sentiment, same thing, you know, but when you meet like-minded individuals that are like, yo, let's go, let's make this happen, let's do it, it's good. But you know what? Honestly, there is balance because like honestly, the lifestyle of LA is chill too because it's like, it'll get done. We're taking it in. We're not going to respond immediately, you know, and it'll get done. It'll get done. So there is balance is important.
I'm with you with that sense of urgency, man. Being from New Orleans, like service industry, sense of urgency, like everything was on point. And then I got out here and it was good for me because I was running circles around people. But I also had to teach them and show them, you know, what was possible with sense of urgency. And
well, if you don't mind, tell me what's going on with you because I've just met you and I'm curious what your situation is.
I worked with Mikey. I was a TSA lead when he got there, so I kind of
He was one of the people who trained me to be a TSA.
Right.
yeah, I was there, but like when he got in, I was bitter and
So what's happening right now? Is this temporary or this is
yeah. So basically, what happened? I was working for SB and like all these other you know restaurant bartending jobs, and I was just miserable. Pretty much gave up on acting. I was just going through the the everyday procedure of work, getting up, sleeping all day, work, rinse and repeat. So then May 20th, 2016, I went mountain biking and I jumped off some and everything changed. Spinal cord injury, just instantly paralyzed. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me, dude.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. It changed your perspective and like
yes,
yeah.
and it, like you said, it aligned my path on like what I was here to do, and I just had to reset. I had to reset in a major hardcore way because I wasn't doing it on my own. I knew something was wrong, but I was one of those people that like, I know something's wrong, but I'm just gonna keep doing this shit that makes me insane, So this happening to me just forced me, and it got rid of all the distractions, bartending, the money that I was making, the women. I mean, I was in a relationship at the time, but that all kind of goes together, and it forced me to kind of figure out my path again. Yeah,
That's what's up.
yeah,
I love
and
it.
I mean, obviously, it's a shitty situations in more ways than one, but it also opened up so many different avenues and communities, and I've done more in the past 6 years than I did until the 33 years that I was alive before it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, man.
And
then with
how
this,
inspirational it is,
Yeah.
because how many people be able to go with what he went through and not say it was the best thing that happened, but also like, man, I love when he comes here. The glow on his face,
Right.
the energy, it's like, it's infectious. It's
Right.
like, it just makes me feel good. I'm like, I love this dude.
but then
100%.
like I think we've talked about this in the past, but Mikey was one of the only people that called me when I was alone. Like after my accident, I was completely alone, living in a studio in Van Nuys, just like, my bourbon here, and just depressed, lonely. And out of everyone that I worked with, we weren't even close friends. We were cool. He calls me, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Why is this guy calling me?" Calls me again, "Hey man, you want to come over? Let's just hang out for lunch." And this is kind of where Chaos Control was born.
Well, we also had, like, what most people don't realize about that story is we both went through something traumatic